Thank you for watching this video focusing on attaching documents and other file types in QuickBooks Online. There are many reasons to use attachments to add more detail in QuickBooks. Anything you upload will be saved to the company to refer back to at any time on any computer. Some examples might be adding a receipt to an expense or a photo of a product to an invoice, maybe a form to a customer profile. I might want to add a CSV file to a journal entry, a drawing of a design to an estimate, a thank you note to a donor receipt. Lots of ways to use this. This feature is available in Simple Start, Essentials, and Plus, though the transaction types can vary by version. Keep in mind with attachments that other users on your account will be able to see them, but you can decide if an attachment will be emailed with a sales form or just viewed internally. You are limited to up to 25 megabytes per attachment, but you can bring in any file type. And you can attach while using QBO in a browser or while creating notes or expenses in your mobile device. We'll look at mobile toward the end of this video. Let's start off with the attachments page. I'm going to go to the gear and over to lists and down to attachments. This is where I can see all of the attachments that I have in QBO already in a nice table and upload new ones. This is really convenient if you have some files on your computer that you'd like to bring in and attach to transactions later, as opposed to in the moment when you're creating them, which we'll look at next. I can drag and drop files that I have on my computer or click to browse your computer and say upload a file. From this page, I can download attachments, so maybe somebody else uploaded this and I'd like to save it locally on my machine. I can also click the drop down to edit, delete, create an invoice, or create an expense from this attachment. You can also upload and link attachments while you're entering a new transaction, which is the most common way that people use this functionality. Not only invoices and expenses, but really just about any type of activity in QuickBooks. Go to the plus menu and choose your transaction type. Let's create a sales receipt. I'll fill in my customer details and I'll scroll down to the bottom where I see that paperclip again with attachments. I can drag and drop my files here or click to upload something that I have on my computer. But what you'll also notice is we have a link for show existing. If I click that, it will open the drawer and show any documents, receipts, images, whatever I have that hasn't been linked to a transaction previously. So if I went through in that other attachments page and uploaded a bunch of stuff that was on my machine, this is where I could link it in the moment. So I'll see things that are unlinked. I can also filter this down to show all attachments, and this will list everything that I have on this QuickBooks Online file that I could add in. So maybe I had an image that I used on a invoice last week that I'd like to also use on this sales receipt. I could bring it in without having to upload it again. Pretty cool. And I can preview these if I'd like to take a closer look at them. Once something is added, you also see a checkbox to attach to an email. If I check that, when I send the sales receipt to whatever email I've put in for my customer, that attachment will be included for them to refer to. But I could leave that unchecked if I just wanted this image to be something we view internally and the customer never sees it. I can have multiple attachments on a single transaction. I'm not limited to one. So if you have something else you want to add in, you'll see those listed there, and I can save and send. Let's look at a few other spots where I can add attachments, the register and the bank fee. If I go to accounting and into my chart of accounts, I can click on view register, and this will pull up my register view, and I can add an attachment as I'm adding a check or whatever right through the register. So I search my computer, pull in that attachment. I also can use the register to confirm what attachments have been added. So you can add a column, and if you don't see a column for it, scroll up to the top, go under the gear, and add a column for attachments. I've already checked mine off. And this will show you a paperclip column with the number of attachments that a transaction had. I personally prefer using the expenses or sales pages to see if I've added attachments to everything instead of the register. So you click on expenses, and you of course are brought into a list of all your expenses. Go to the gear, show more for attachments, and this will add a column again with that paperclip. And I can verify the number of attachments on any transaction. So real easy if you're looking to add receipts to every expense or the images of statements to every bill. And there of course is also a shortcut here to attach a file if you're missing one. And if it shows make payment, that's located under the drop-down. Bank feed is similar to the register. If I go to banking, if I want to attach files to bank transactions as I'm adding them into QuickBooks, I can expand, fill out my details, and click Add Attachment. Now let's look at where you can add attachments to customer and vendor profiles. Going up to Expenses and into Vendors, and I'm going to scroll down and choose my vendor, click on the Vendor Details tab, and below all their contact information and everything, I have a box to drag and drop or click to upload. I can also show existing and bring everything together into their profile. Customers works the same way. I go to Sales, over to Customers, open someone up, and down to Customer Details to pull in an attachment. At the time of this recording, you are not able to attach to accounts or to employee profiles, but if this is something important to you, please go to the gear and leave us some feedback. Now let's go into the mobile app and take a look at adding attachments there. All right, I'm signed into the mobile app. I have an iPhone. Android will look similar, and there are a few different places you can make attachments. We'll click on the plus and first look at expenses. I can click the camera to take a photo or choose existing. This will allow me to take a photo of a receipt I might have. I can also choose existing if I have a receipt saved on my phone somewhere and pull that in. Then I fill out the details of this receipt, and I can click it again if I want to open it, check on the information, maybe read the dollar amount, and fill this all in. And it walks you through an overview around what you've purchased and what account you used. You get the idea here. So then I save that expense and the receipt image will be attached. I also can add attachments by using the note functionality. So I'm out on the go, I can create a note and even include a photo and assign this note to a particular customer. So again, take photo, choose existing, and choose my customer here. I also have some functionality in estimates. So I'm opening an existing estimate, but this can be done while you're creating one from scratch. Fill out all the details, and down along the bottom, I can capture a signature from my customer. So I'm out in the field, I write up an estimate, and I can have them sign it, hand them my phone. Indicate that I have accepted that signature, so I have approval for that estimate, and even convert it to an invoice right from here. That signature is saved as an attachment. I can see it later on, and I'll also show you how you can view that in the browser, what it looks like. I'm back in the browser to show you what it looks like when a signature has been attached to an estimate or to an invoice that you created on the mobile app. Along the top, I see accepted, and again, filling out the name of the person who signed it. I do that all through the mobile app, but I can refer back to it here. And then down in my attachments box, there's the signature. I click on that. It opens up in a new tab for me so I can see it. Hopefully your customers have legible signatures, but I think you get the idea here. And there you have it. Always saved on the estimate to refer back to later. In summary, attaching to sales transactions allows you to send more details to your customers right from QuickBooks without having to email them separately. Attaching to bills and expenses leads to always having source documents on hand if there are questions at tax time. Move away from collecting everything in a box to go through later and use your mobile phone to upload things on the go. As a final note, if you're looking to further automate this process, especially on the expense side, check out the many apps on apps.com that can work with QuickBooks Online. There are apps that can fetch documents for you, read receipts for you, help you with expense reports and reimbursements, and create transactions from your bills and receipts right into QBO seamlessly. And they're huge time savers for many, many businesses. I hope that this was helpful, and thank you for watching.